Hello, this is Bill Meridian speaking to you May the 14th, 2025, now from New York City. This is about the past week. US, India, China agreements. Let us see how horoscopes of diplomatic relations were extremely helpful in determining the outcome of all the negotiating. By the way, I have a new additional website at billmeridianastrology.com in addition to the old billmeridian.com. So, the trade agreements, this week the US made trade agreements with India and China. Astrology useful in forecasting this success. Now, just keep in mind, Trump's sun is 22 Gemini 53. Transiting Jupiter was 23 to 24 Gemini. The horoscopes of diplomatic relations were most helpful with India and with China. These dates are available on the US State Department website. A noon time is assumed, and I have a chapter in my book, Mastering Geopolitical Prediction, about the use of these charts. This is the horoscope of India-USA diplomatic relations, again, obtained from the State Department website. It is set for November 1, 1946 at 12 p.m., and I picked New Delhi. Just keep in mind, again, that Trump's sun is 22 Gemini 53, transiting Jupiter 23-24 Gemini. And what do we find right down here at 21 to 22 Gemini, a Uranus-Vulcanus conjunction? Vulcanus is from the Uranian system. So Jupiter was transiting right over this. So if you were asked, as I was about 2 weeks ago, will these negotiations prove to be successful? Well, with Jupiter going over Uranus, a sudden change in good fortune. I hate to use the word luck, but a sudden, very positive, optimistic opening or development. So just remember, Donald Trump's sun is right in this area, and so is transiting Jupiter. Now let's look at the horoscope of China and USA diplomatic relations. June 16th, 1844, in Macau, China. Again, noon was assumed, but this was the day of a solar eclipse. It had just occurred. You can see the sun is 25 Gemini 03. You can see that the moon is 26 Gemini 53. So it was just hours before. Now, this makes this horoscope much more important than other horoscopes of diplomatic relations, but you can see that Gemini is very prominent, and Jupiter was approaching. As I'm speaking, it is probably about a degree from the sun. So in both cases, the initiator of the action, President Trump, had transiting Jupiter conjunct his sun, and we had Uranus Vulcanus at that degree in the India chart of diplomatic relations with the US, and we have the sun and moon at these Gemini degrees in the horoscope of China-USA diplomatic relations. There is another horoscope, I didn't bother putting it up, of the 1979 chart of US diplomatic relations with the new form of government known to us in the old days as Red China. So there are really two charts for analyzing these entities, and you will note that this chart natally has a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction in the first decade of Aries. So generally speaking, these two countries will do well in terms of diplomatic relations, but any matter commenced on the day of an eclipse does not work out as planned, and that was the day of this start of diplomatic relations in 1844. So, summary, transiting Jupiter was making its third conjunction with the president's sun. Jupiter was conjunct the Uranus-Vulcanus conjunction in the India DR chart. Jupiter was applying to a conjunction of the Moon-Sun conjunction, a solar eclipse, in the China DR chart. And that's how I was able to tell people about a month ago that all of these agreements would be successful in this past week. If you're interested in this subject, Mastering Geopolitical Prediction, available at billmeridian.com. Again, there is a chapter on diplomatic relations in the book. And there's the old favorite Predictive Power of Eclipse Paths and the In Search books, which I call the Scholars Series. In Search 1 and 2, the magazine of Charles Jane, 1959 to 1961. Original articles by John Addy, Lorne Edward Jandro, Dr. Edgar Wagner, Charles Jane, etc. So thank you so much for listening. A new video should be up in about a week or less. Bye-bye for now.